And that's the thing, right? And that's a great thing that you had that. You were in that space. But for the men that are not in that space, but they know they love their person, open dialogue, open communication. Don't marry someone that's gonna hate you for talking to them about that.
No, but it's not hate. It's more like judgment.
Or judge you.
Yeah,
who wants to marry someone that's gonna judge them?
Yeah, because you now you get into a relationship with someone and they like to repeat on, and you're like,
listen, your person is your person. If you want golden showers,
hey man,
do what you gotta do.
Don't do it to yourself.
Okay.
This episode of the Student to Life podcast is sponsored by Vintage Florists and Events. For the Valentine's Day flowers, for your Mother's Day flowers, for your Christmas, your anniversary, whatever you need these flowers for, these teddy bears, whatever arrangements, you could hit up Vintage Florists and Events.
Yes.
The number to call to make orders, place orders for more info is 754-423-4673.
What's up, everyone? We are back with season 2 of the Student to Life podcast. I am your host, Shantai, and my co-host,
Stretch.
And we are so excited for season 2. We are talking about love, relationships, and all that greatness. And remember, guys, this is where learning and unlearning has no limits. So even when it comes to love and relationships, we're going to talk about it, and we're going to learn and we're going to unlearn.
Yes, and we're going to make sure that there's always something for you to take away from each episode. So it's not one of them gossip and argumentative like podcasts where we're creating controversy. Like, I want to put facts out there. I want to put real stuff out there, real life events out there,
Yeah, we're going to put that out there, but we're going to have fun with it. So excited. So Stretch.
Yeah.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Same to you, my dear. See, we are dressed in red for Valentine's Day. I don't celebrate it though, but hey.
But he dressed in red though.
It's a thing.
He partially celebrates.
Partially. It's me have blocked us just to make sure you know. Yeah. So.
Yes, and this episode we're going to be talking about marriage compared to dating.
Yeah, we're talking about like the dynamics of most of that stuff. I feel like we need to let people know some of the mistakes, some of the misconceptions, some of the misinformation that there is about marriage and relationships. That's the divorce rate nowadays is ridiculous.
It's high.
It's ridiculous. So,
but the marriage rate is high too.
It's not really high, to be honest with you. It's still steady on that level. It's not like there's a plethora of people getting married anymore, because we see now that a lot of people they don't believe in marriage like they used to.
It's not as traditional.
No, because a lot of people are really hopeless for marriage, especially with so many like long-term marriages not playing out. Like on social media, there's people that's been married 10, 15 years that decided to end their marriage. There's people married for 30 years I've seen that decided to end their marriage. Like, people seeing that so much more, it's more magnified now. So it's giving a lot of single people less hope to want to be married at all. So yes, it's steady with the marriage rate, but I feel like it should be on an incline instead of on a decline. Now the divorce rate is on an incline, and the marriage rate is down here still.
Well, I personally like to focus on the positive side.
I get that, but we're talking about real life here.
I get that.
Okay.
But my real life focus on the positive.
I get that.
So I know I'm gonna be married one day, and we will never break up. It's gonna last forever. But with social media and how times have been, it has caused a lot of couples and relationships to not stick together, and it's been a lot of infidelity, and hopefully we could shine some light on that and give some people some great energy and some wisdom to how to keep that up. And throughout this season, we'll be talking about all those things. So I'm so excited.
Yes. So with marriage compared to dating, let's touch on dating first.
Oh my gosh.
It starts there.
So to me, dating is literally collecting data.
Right.
Shout out to Miss April Mason for teaching me that. My client, my beautiful client, the feminine CEO.
Right.
Dating is collecting data.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that, honestly, that's something I literally learned about a year ago.
Yeah.
And it's crazy.
Yeah.
Because I think as women, sometimes we get really a little bit too entitled when we're dating, and we don't wait for that part where it's like we're official.
Right.
We're just like, we automatically think we're official because we're spending that time.
I've been single for a long time.
Oh.
So
gosh.
The thing is, I think the thing is with dating now is like you're dating someone and there's no period of time where it's like you're getting to know the person. It's like once feelings start getting involved, oh, we go together.
Now with that, right? That's why I feel like there's that important conversation in the beginning of when you meet someone, right? Set that foundation of what you want. And if the person that you're dating is not on that same wavelength, 9 times out of 10, the dating phase is not even gonna last.
And the thing is, this is where the problem is. Nowadays, we think more with feelings, where our feelings is in control of us rather than us being in control of our feelings. So we're making not what you would call it sensible decisions. Because now we're not making decisions because of this is the logical thing to do. We're making decisions because it's what we feel.
Our feelings.
It's our feeling. Because now you date somebody for a month, right? We're not going to bring it to 3 months. You date somebody for a month, right? You're hanging out, you're talking every day, and you spot all these red flags about that person. And instead of reevaluating all these things, these red flags, because now you have feelings, you start to look past. And this happens, majority of the time, this happens with females.
Women?
Yes, with women. Jesus Christ. Women, females, I still think it's the same thing. But this happens majority of the times with women, because women are highly emotional creatures, right? So I think once you learn to separate that, because to be honest, a woman's instinct is way better than a man's instinct. But I think when you pick up on those red flags, you tend to look past it. You know, you say, oh, it's not that bad. I could probably work with that. You know, I've seen so many women get abused and talked to a certain way, and they think, oh, he's gonna change later down when we date some more. And it's like, nah, you can't look at it that way. You gotta see that as a red flag and be able to cut that off right there at the head. Because most times I tell women this all the time. In the dating stage, let the man do most of the talking.
Yes.
You know
I agree.
Let the man do most of the talking.
Yes.
As a man, I could pick up on who a person is, not even a female, like who a person is right out the gate. Like, I'm gonna let you tell me who you are, show me who you are. The women's supposed to try to do the same thing. Let men tell you who they are.
I agree.
You get what I'm saying? Allow him to talk and speak, because most of the times there's no substance coming out of the mouths of a lot of people. Yeah. None.
And I think as well, we don't study the opposite sex. Right? We go into this dating world thinking that we just gonna know what to do, know how to navigate. And I think studying the opposite sex is going to be able to fix a lot of those problems, right?
I feel like a big part of that is knowing what you want. A big part of that is knowing what you want. Do not start dating if you don't know. Have a list of things that there's no compromising that.
Right.
I literally talked about this in therapy today. Yeah. When she asked me if there's a list of things that I would not compromise on when dating somebody.
Like those non-negotiables.
Non-negotiables. And I always had those things, but for a moment, I kind of put those on the back burner because I wasn't really dating or anything. Yeah. So I kind of just not worry about it. And today, I really reevaluated that whole thing. Like these are the things if I see these in you, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
It's over.
And it makes it easier for us as a being just to weed out what's not for us. And I think one of the most important things is knowing yourself, finding yourself as a whole person before you go and you share yourself, your time, your energy, your space with someone else. And a lot of the times we don't do that. We go into relationships with baggage, with drama, with all these, with insecurities, with all these things. And it plays a major issue in our relationship. I think as for women, we have to, they have a saying that they say, men choose, women, is it men choose and women, what is it? It's something where the man is they find us and we choose them. Right. Something like that. And as a woman, you have to know your morals, your standards, who you are as a woman and what you want. And in that dating phase, that is your time to literally navigate each person. And I can say our natural instincts were nurturers. Right. So we, real women, we don't want to have a million men on our rosters because we're just not scientifically made up to handle that. Right. And then it comes down to two things. It's either you want something monogamous or you don't want something monogamous. I think
there's a thin line between what you're saying, because I agree with some of what you're saying, but also, I think there's also another way to look at it, where dating doesn't have to be me coming to your house, you coming to mine, we sleeping together, all these things. Dating could literally be we hanging out, we go out to have dinner, we go out on dates, we talk on the phone just to get to know each other. But I could do that with 3, 4, 5 different people. But I think the problem is with when a person does that, is the transparency. Like, listen, we're not exclusive as yet. I'm still searching, I'm still browsing for what I want. And then I narrow it down to 2, then I narrow it down to 1, or I narrow it down to 5, then 4, then 3. And that's how a lot of people do it. What happens is, with women, even with men too, you have these 5 people that you're dating, right? And you let it go on for too long. Now you're stuck between 3 or 4 people, making it hard to choose because you're invested emotionally in 3 or 4 people.
And for men, it's more easier than it is for women.
Yeah,
because we're like,
connection,
that doesn't check the box. He doesn't check the box. I'm owning in on this one, and hopefully that one also is owning in on me as well. Right. But once you reach a certain age, and for me, I just turned 30, so I really know what my ideal person should be.
Right.
So when would you say, I know for women, I think it's more natural to wait for the man to say if we're locked in or not. What's your space on that? Like, when you really locked in and you trying to have that whole full relationship, that whole monogamous relationship, you're going to be faithful to her. When is that time for you?
I don't think there's a timeline. I think Steve Harvey had the Think Like a Man book where he talked about
I read that book.
a woman should wait 3 months before giving it up and committing and stuff like that. I honestly don't think there's a timeline. I'll tell you why. When getting to know somebody, us men, a real man that knows himself knows the first time we see that woman.
Okay.
It's in the book too. That the same Think Like a Man book is in there. We men know, as soon as we see that woman and hang out with her, we know that this is a type of person that I would share the rest of my life with. And if you don't know how to recognize that feeling, you choose anybody. But when you know yourself and you know that, this feeling that this woman gives me, this is one of a kind, this is different. So we leave it up to the woman a lot of times to say, all right, it's time now. But we men mostly know.
Really?
We men mostly know. If you think about it, we know. And most times, the mistakes that a lot of women make is you're allowing the man to make these choices, but you're making that go on for so long. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
So you now have to be. Most times, you got to understand the women are in control of those decisions. If you can't let the man be in control of those decisions.
I'd have to disagree there.
Let me tell you why I said that.
I have to disagree there,
Let me tell you why
sir.
Let me tell you why I said that. All right. So me as a man, right? I teach people how to treat me.
Of course, you have to teach people how to treat you.
That's my point.
Or they treat you however they want. I agree with that.
Exactly my point.
Mm-hmm.
So if you now go into a dating situation with someone and you're letting them dictate everything that happens when we stop dating and make it official and all these things, now I have the choice to do whatever the hell I want because I'm making the choices.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? So you now as the woman gotta go into that situation and say, these are my requirements. If like I was dating a girl one time and she told me we're gonna be dating for no longer than 2 years before we get married, before I propose to her.
Okay, let me tell you this. When it comes to masculine energy and feminine energy, there is such thing as demasculating, right? Mm-hmm. So I can emasculate you as a man by overpowering you, right? So taking you out of your masculine space, letting you know what to do, what I want, how we gonna do it. There is no such thing as feminism, or whatever the hell you want to call it. The feminine energy is Mother Nature. We nurture, we grow, we're patient, we give that off, right? So as a woman, even goes way back to however centuries, the man have a plethora, right? And when he's ready to settle down, he chooses. Just like when it comes to marriage, a man proposes, right? So if I am dating someone and he knows that I have interest in him and he has interest in me, he's the leader. I cannot lead the relationship. Why? Because I'm going to demasculate him. He has to say to me, listen, I want you to be my woman. He's taking lead. The man is the head, the woman is the neck.
I'm going to tell you the difference with that.
But like I was saying, the man is the head, the woman is the neck. Not saying that we don't have no talk or nothing like that in a relationship. We definitely do. There is a partnership there. But when it comes to that navigation, the masculine is who's navigating.
And let me tell you the difference with that during dating. In the process of dating, right? I'm not in control of nothing you do as yet. I'm gonna take control of where we go, where we eat.
You're in control of our space.
I'm in control of certain things, right?
Right.
But then, like I said, you have to teach someone how to treat you. Now, if I go into let's say for instance, I'm dating this girl and we go out and I'm halfway. I'm feeling her here, but I'm not really feeling her here. But I'm trying to prolong it for the longest time. I want to see where this goes. But she's sitting there just waiting, and she's sure about me. You get what I'm saying? And she's ready to start this relationship now and cut out all the dating and all that. Now, she's able to say, listen, it's been 3 months. If you don't want this, I'm just going to move on. Simple as that. If you leave it up to the man to say, all right, now it's time, that could go on for, that's my example that I'm using. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So in both parties gotta come to this agreement to say we want this or we don't want this.
That is very true. That is very true.
But that's what I mean when I said you can't let the man take the lead on that.
But you just said the key word though. She's waiting.
That's my point.
What is she waiting on, Stretch?
The man.
Exactly.
Yes, but guess what? It can't be the other way around too.
You will be waiting on the woman as a masculine man?
It can't be the other way around. I'm going to tell you why. Like I said, both people have to agree to this.
So if you're dating someone for 3 months as a masculine man, right? You are the leader. You're the head, right? A man without a dream shop.
You're not her leader as yet.
No.
I don't want you to mix that up.
Listen, when you date a woman, when I date a man, my man have to say, listen, babe, we going here this time. It doesn't matter. He has to say, we're going here at this time. I need you dressed this way.
Right.
Take leave. Right?
That's different.
Cool. Hold on. Take leave. So, as a woman, if she's dating you for 3 months and you know she's locked in, if she's still hanging around, not sure, that's on her as a woman because now she's decreasing her morals and her values. And some women do not know themselves to have morals and values to that extent. So some women they will sit around and they will wait. A real man is going to let them know. And even as a woman, you're going to say, listen, it's been 3 months. I didn't know what's going on.
And that's exactly what I'm saying.
Okay, then. So if she's sitting there waiting, then Some women will wait a year or 2 years and still entertain the same thing.
That is my point. I'm not saying what is supposed to happen. I don't want you to get it mixed up,
Right.
I'm not saying what is supposed. I'm telling you what happens most of the time.
Okay, I get that.
You get what I'm saying? What is supposed to happen is we get to this point where we say, all right, you know what you want and I know what I want. This is how we move forward from here. You get what I'm saying? Because in the dating stage, we're talking about your credit score. We're talking about your life goals. We're talking about your spending habits. We're talking about where you want to live. Where do you see yourself 10 years from now? Like, these questions are not even asked in the dating stage anymore.
Which is not cool.
You get what I'm saying? So it's not, like I said, I'm not saying what's supposed to happen. I'm telling you what happens majority of the time.
Okay.
Where, let's say, for instance, you go out with a guy, right? And you know this guy's bullshit. You know, you start to pick up that he's bullshitting after 2 months, right? And now, listen, it's time. What are we doing? And it's like, I'm still not sure. Let's do it a little longer. And you're like, nah. Now you're taking the initiative to say, I'm done with this. I'm going to move on. But if you let him lead in that situation, you're going to be there sitting like, all right, he's the man, so I'm going to let him. You know what I'm saying?
But listen, Jill Scott has a phrase and she says, if you could tell me what to do, then you could tell me what to do. But if you can't tell me what to do, then you cannot tell me what to do. Okay? So if you don't know the type of person, type of man that you're dealing with as a woman, and me speaking for women, then you're going to be dragged along like a dog on a leash. And as women, we have to know. Now, if you know as a woman that you're not ready to commit, and you're in a space where you just want to ride the wave, then that's cool. Then we're gonna ride it for as long as I feel like riding the wave. But know yourself. Know what you want.
And that is
know that real men is going to lead you to where they really, and they're going to know what they want as a man as well.
That is the foundation.
Exactly.
That is the foundation, because I consider myself as a healed person, and I'm healing more and more every single day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
We're going to always be healing.
And I'm at a point now where I'm past the average level of a person that's trying to find healing. You know what I'm saying? My therapist tells me all the time, like, you don't even need to come here every week. You could come every other week if you want to. I'm like, nah, insurance pays for it. So I'm going to go. Anyway, I talk her ears off every week. But that it's now tax season. And this tax season, the best place to get your taxes done is at Spectrum Tax Group. We've specialized in doing taxes anywhere in the U.S. It's very convenient. You can do your taxes just from your mobile phone with your mobile app. You can log on to our Instagram at Spectrum Tax Group. That's SPECTRUMTAXGROUP. That's Spectrum Tax Group on Instagram. You can log on to our website at spectrumtaxgroup.net. All right? So if it's this tax season, you need a good, reliable tax person, hit us up over at Spectrum Tax Group. We'll take good care of you. All right? I'm saying that to say, if I'm doing all this work on myself and I'm dating you, and you're coming with this baggage and this damage and all this toxicity, I'm not even gonna entertain that. Okay. You get what I'm saying? In the dating stage now, you have to learn how to pick up on all of that. And if you don't know yourself, a person will give you the saying says, if you don't know what you want, somebody could give you whatever
they want,
and then you accept it. But you have to know yourself first. Love yourself first.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying? Love your insecurities, love your mistakes, love your past, love your present, love your future, love your surroundings. You gotta love you first. You get what I'm saying? You don't want somebody to come in and try to validate you and tell you that you're pretty for you to believe that you're pretty. Yeah. And that's where your problem is. Okay, so let's pivot. How do we, let's talk about the honeymoon phases, right? So you have the honeymoon phases when you're dating. Then you have the honeymoon phase when you make it official, or when you make it official and then when you get married, right? So what would you say, how would you say to keep the spark for a honeymoon phase? Because a lot of time, I don't even like the word phase. I don't like it either. We're going to be in the honeymoon for the whole thing. It's going to always be spark there. My relationship has to be that way. Right. So what would you say that, as far as the honeymoon phase, why do you think that it trickles out? Because people get comfortable. That's all it is. It's just that simple. People get comfortable. In like you have the like for to men that's watching. Let me tell you something. And I've learned this from watching other couples. You have to constantly date your woman.
Of course.
Remember why you found her, why you loved her in the first place.
Yes, talk the things them.
Lord have mercy. Here you go. Anyways, I'm gonna tell you this. You have to remember why you fell in love with that woman. And in the beginning, when you was buying the flowers, you was taking her nice places, you was telling her nice things. Like that has to be every day, at least every week. You tell her, hey, you're pretty. Even when she's just waking up in the morning with all the stuff in her eyes and the brag like her motor, you gotta tell her how pretty she is. You get what I'm saying?
You're beautiful.
Yes, you gotta love her. You gotta love everything about your woman. You gotta compliment her constantly. You gotta take her nice place. Designate time every month.
Yes.
Designate time every month to take her somewhere nice, like a date night.
Yes.
On Jay Shetty, I was watching his podcast today, and he said him and his wife used to take 3 hours out of every month to go 3 hours away, lock the phones away. They'll go bike riding. They'll go walking in the park. They would just enjoy each other. And then he said what he would do is he would check in every day. This is what you check on every day. How has your day been? What's your plan for today? Every week you check how has your week been going? What's your plan for the week? And every month where we at as far as what we want to, the goals we want to get to as far as a couple, as far as life. And you check in on these things, this checklist that you have, that you check in constantly to make sure your relationship is on the right track. Is there anything you could change? Is there anything you could fix? Is there anything we could improve on? You get what I'm saying? So that honeymoon phase, you're constantly creating that. It's like your whole relationship is a honeymoon phase.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying? So don't wait until special occasions like Valentine's Day to say,
to buy flowers, I'm gonna get you
and
some
do all
flowers.
That stuff. Right now, I believe personally that these holidays are a money-making thing nowadays.
They are.
You know what I'm saying? They're glamorized as that. So for you now, you gotta create that feeling, like just randomly do something nice.
Yes.
I had a friend.
agree with that.
I'm gonna give you a story, true story. I had a friend that he was in a relationship, right? And I always tell all my friends, yo, if you have a good woman, don't step out, because the trouble of trying to get her back and the feeling that you're going to get from knowing you messed up, that's not a nice feeling. So stay loyal, stay to your woman. All my friends will tell you that. So he had his woman, but he was messing around. He was putting no energy into his woman. Because she was already there. She was doing her thing.
He thought that she was set in stone.
Yeah, exactly my point. And I said to him, I was like, you rent hotels, you do all these things with these other women. Do this just one time and you're going to see the difference with your woman. Buy her some flowers. Take her somewhere nice. Rent you a hotel. Just a nice day for her. Randomly. And he did that and he was like, yo, you was right. You know, she pulled out tricks I've never seen before. I'm like, that's what I'm trying to tell you. So you do that. Everything you're looking for out there would be totally irrelevant. I
think for some reason with men, it comes with a level of entitlement in their self that they feel like they need to prove within their self. And yes, it is a level of entitlement that you feel like you need to prove having a bag of women and feel like you need to go out on that. I feel like if you want to be a single man, if you want to be a single man, then live a single life. Be a bachelor. Have all the women in the world. But when you say you own and in on someone and you go out on her and the infidelity is just skyrocketed. You as a man, you have to stop and you have to challenge yourself. So you as a friend, you had to help him find that in himself. Men, and women, we have to find that in ourselves, because I'm not going to say women don't cheat, because women cheat as well. You got to find, why am I doing this to this person? Why am I lying? Why am I doing this?
The thing is, there's no one reason for cheating. And that's what
of course not.
There's plenty of reasons why people cheat. And I think one of the main reasons for men is to feed our egos. That's one of the main reasons. And like I said, there's the factor of not being happy. There's a factor of not getting enough from your partner. It's all these factors. Like, when I get into a relationship, I want to be in a relationship with my best friend. Like, I don't want to go a day without talking
Where
to my
you
best
can
friend.
communicate on a high level.
Talking about every single thing. Like, I'm watching Jay Shetty and his wife talking today, and I'm like,
they have a dynamic connection.
they have a type of connection that not even friends don't have.
Yeah,
and that's on another level. Like, he genuinely, like, she gives him jokes, and he would crack up and laugh about it.
Yes, and there's nothing that they hold back on. She even got emotional in that interview, and and that's just her being vulnerable and feeling comfortable in that space with him. Like, that's super important.
That's what I'm saying. There's women that wouldn't even cry around their partner, not even use the bathroom around their partner.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? When I was in my relationship, I was farting. I was doing everything because I didn't care.
That's your person.
I'm comfortable. We laugh and we giggle about stuff like that. That's your person. And that's what I'm saying. So you can't be in a relationship with somebody and I got something to talk about and I got to go to my friend to talk about it.
Right.
And that's one thing I've learned with being in a relationship too. Because I couldn't be open with my partner, I went to talk to my friend. Now my friends are in the middle of our relationship.
So I'm going to give you a quick story. Recently, there was this guy that I knew for a while, and long story short, he's in a relationship now, and have a kid with the person and everything. And he was in my inbox, obviously for those reasons, trying to whatever.
Right.
And in that same conversation space, this man told me that he's about to be married in a month, and he's just trying to get certain things out of his system. And I lost all respect for him. Like, I've known him for a long time, and my whole stomach turned when he said that to me, because now you're getting married for the wrong reasons.
Yes.
Now you don't even know yourself as a man. If you say you're getting married to somebody and you are in love with this person, you are getting married. You should not be trying to. And then I asked him, I said, well, why, if you having these urges, and we're human beings, right? We have our urges. Right. Like you said, you gotta be with your best friend. You have to marry your best friend. So if my spouse, if I'm gonna get married and he says to me, babe, I'm having these urges, I shouldn't freak out. No. We're gonna find a way to kill those urges.
No, so
you know what I'm saying?
I don't think being in a relationship you should have that.
But wait a minute. There is no comfortable space in his relationship where he could share that dialogue with his woman. Us as human beings, we gonna have our feelings. Everyone is different. You know what I'm saying? Men go outside of their marriages, and not for no emotional reasons. It's just, like you said, to feed their egos. But why can there be a space where the woman that you choose to marry, where you could be comfortable with her? And it goes back to even my clients being lifestylers. They're married and they can have an open dialogue. No, for real. They can have an open dialogue as to feeding their sexuality.
That damn name lifestylers is fucking.
It's true. It's a thing. It is a thing.
Name, bro. Give it another name.
They're lifestylers. What do you want me to call it?
Swingers.
It's not only they swing as well, but lifestylers is a plethora of things.
This is I'm gonna give you that, but
it is. I'm telling you.
All right, so what I think is in relationships, if you can't be honest,
you have to be honest with your person.
When I say honest, I mean completely and openly honest.
Yes,
because,
babe.
all right.
I want to have sex with other women. Okay, babe.
No, see the crazy thing.
Let me watch you do it, or let's do it together.
That's what I'm saying. That's the crazy part. That's the crazy part. A lot of women are into that nowadays. You get what I'm saying? A lot of women, let's do it together type of thing nowadays.
Because guess what? My grandparents been married for 50-something years, and my grandfather was going out on my grandma doing things, right? Rest in peace to my grandpa. You the real goat. But at the same time, he could have had that dialogue with my grandmother, and my grandmother, you never know, she could have been down to do the same things.
That's what I'm saying. But see, all right, the relationship I was in, it was like, man, like this is everything I need. Like, I didn't have the urge to step out,
which is amazing.
I did at all. Like, it was like, I remember we went on a cruise, and she wasn't there, and all these women trying to talk to me, and I'm like, I don't even see y'all right now. I can't wait to go in the room so I could call my girl and talk to her. You know what I'm saying? So, and then you think about how you would feel to mess up and lose this person.
Right. And that's the thing, right? And that's a great thing that you had that. You were in that space. But for the men that are not in that space, but they know they love their person, open dialogue, open communication. Don't marry someone that's going to hate you for talking to them about that.
Right. No, but it's not hate. It's more like judgment.
Or judge you.
Yeah,
Who wants to marry someone that's going to judge them?
Yeah, because you now you get into a relationship with someone and they like to be peed on, and you're like...
Listen, your person is your person. If you want golden showers,
hey man,
do what you got to do.
Don't do it to yourself.
Okay. So yeah, we were talking about
how to keep the spark up.
Yeah, keeping that spark. Constantly having those date nights, having those conversations, reassurance.
Yes.
Women love reassurance.
Everybody loves reassurance.
Everybody loves reassurance.
Not just women. I think that's a misconception too. That thinking that women are the only ones who want those compliments. Women are the only ones who want that reassurance.
Right.
Women are the only ones who need to feel safe. Like we as men, we need
it as well.
Yeah, of course we do.
Yeah.
And because we don't show those emotions a lot, I mean, if a woman tells us that we smell good, we feel good. You know what I'm saying? A woman tells us that we look good. Oh, you look good. Like, listen, when a woman looks at you and she gives you that look, you know. Yeah, exactly, and we love that.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? There's women that would literally sit down and caught in a daze looking at their man.
Yes.
And you have to snap and just for her to come back to earth. You get what I'm saying? Us men love that. Just the same thing we do with our women.
Yes.
Seeing my girl in a lingerie is like, oh, God damn.
Yep. You ain't think about nobody else.
What's what I'm trying to say? Like, I take my shirt off and she's looking at me just the same.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like, that's the misconception where a lot of women go wrong thinking that I'm supposed to get this, this, and this. But also you got to think about, what does the man require? You may be with a macho man that don't really care for that stuff. But a real man who cares a lot about your opinion, that's what's important. A lot of times, if you compliment your man and he's not like, his mood is not changed, and the next woman would do that, like, a lot of people go to validation on Instagram, and all these women commenting on your picture, right?
Yeah, now he feeling good. Looking at all that stuff.
Think about this. If I post a picture and that one girl that I like so much don't comment, nothing else matters. You know what I'm saying? That's the same thing. 100 women might give me these fine compliments, but if my woman don't give me that compliment that I need and that love that I need, nothing else matters.
Yeah.
So if you don't
but for you, you're on that tunnel vision with your woman. A lot of men, they get all those compliments from other women and they fall, they goo goo gaga.
Yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and say it don't feel good to hear from other women.
Yeah. Right. But some men they take that and it's like a ego booster for them, and that's what causes them to go out on their relationship.
Also, what I think is another thing that even when it comes to me, I don't like, I'm gonna call it a yes woman. We usually call it a yes man, but I'm gonna call it a yes woman. So you might look tacky, you might look a certain way, and you're still telling me I look good. Now you're a fan, you're not actually my friend. You get what I'm saying? Like, I need somebody to tell me, hey, that shit don't look good. Go
fix that.
Take that off.
Yes.
I'm gonna need you're gaining a few pounds over here. I'm gonna need you to go fix that.
Yeah.
That's what every man needs. Somebody
like an accountability partner. Your woman, your partner is
not
your
somebody who's
gonna
put up with your stuff no matter what you do, no matter what you wear, no matter how you smell. That's somebody who's not gonna tell you.
Yes.
So that's where your opinion matters.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because if you're telling me something, I don't give a damn what you want to say. Like what she got to say. That's who matters to me. You get me?
So let's talk about the difference between spending time with someone and doing life with someone. Now,
yes.
For me,
I love this question.
There is a huge difference, and a lot of the times, the honeymoon stages, the beginning stages, we look at, because we're spending time with each other, that we're perfect for each other, and that is just the wrong mindset to have. especially if you're not having the right conversation during that process, right? So as a woman, for us, let's say our car breaks down, right? And this man that we've been spending time with and hanging out with, and we let him know, like, hey, my car broke down. I need you to help me. Like, bring it to the mechanic
And you're the one
talk
out
to
there
them.
fixing the
And
thing.
why am I out there fixing? We can't do this. This is not gonna work, honey. This is not gonna work. I'm not gonna be in that space. I'm so sorry. It's not working, right? So those little things. If I get sick, right? You should be like, babe, I'm about to bring you some NyQuil. I'm gonna
Remind me to touch back.
Right?
Okay,
those little things, I'm gonna know that, all right, I can do life with this person because he's checking for me. He making sure I'm good outside of the goo goo gaga stages, right? So tell me, let's talk about that.
I'm gonna need a minute with this. I'm gonna need a whole minute with this. I'm gonna need a minute. So
let's talk about that.
I remember there was this girl I was messing with, and I always make it clear if I'm just messing around with somebody, I make it clear that this is what we're doing. And she said to me, she was like, she needs to get, what if we want to start dating? How would that go? And I said to her, I was like, conversations change. Now we got to talk about what your life goals are.
Okay.
Now we got to talk about what's your credit score and how you're trying to get that credit score perfect. I'm an entrepreneur. How do you fit in that life of me being an entrepreneur?
Yes.
Where do you want to live? Where do you see yourself 5, 6, 7 years from now? Where do you want to be at that time? What goals do you have for you? Do you even want kids? What goals do you have for those kids? All of these questions have to be asked.
Yes.
In order to be in that space where you're now your life partner.
Yes.
Do you want to be married? Some people don't want to give up their last names. You get what I'm saying? There's your whole life dynamic will change now. I don't want to be in a relationship with somebody who's not motivating me. If I'm always motivating you, then it's imbalanced.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Your sexual preferences. All these questions have to be asked.
Right.
In that stage of you getting to know somebody.
Right.
Now, when you become life partners, right?
Now you're doing life now.
Right. Now we're talking about love. You get what I'm saying? You touched on something that I want to say. Somebody said it to me in the beginning when she said she got sick and she couldn't even clean herself. And the man put gloves on.
Oh yeah.
Cleaned her up like she shit on herself.
Yeah.
The man cleaned her up. Did all that. And at first I was like, I'm not doing that.
Nah, man. That's your life partner.
I thought about it.
Who else gonna do it?
Exactly.
Who else gonna? Because it could be you.
I use one example to everybody. I said, the person you're in a relationship with, if that person loses a leg, goes blind, loses an arm, if that person gets cancer, all the hair fall off, if that person like in an accident and their face get damaged, would you still love that person? Right. Just the same, unconditional love, just the same. If your answer is no, then you're not fit to be in a relationship with that person. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You gotta look at all those possibilities. Like that person could hit a rock bottom. Yes. You gotta still be able to love that person through it. Yes. That's what life partners mean. We always, as men, we talk about being loyal to our friends. We always talk about, hey, yo, I'm loyal to my friend and I'm going to defend my friend to the end. But you don't have that same energy
for your woman. Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? That loyalty that you present, that not selling out when it comes to your friends, your woman needs that same energy. Have her back, like, in front of her face and behind her back. Yes. Because if I have my woman, you would never go say nothing bad about my woman. Yes. I don't care who you are. Yes. And I'm never going to talk bad about my woman.
You're going to be that protector, as you should, and as she should, over the relationship.
A lot of times, a man get in arguments with their woman, and they go out talking to their friends. Yo, this girl this and this girl that. I'm like, yeah. You don't need to do that. You get into an argument with your woman. If you want to vent to your friend, that's cool. There's nothing wrong with venting to your friend, but don't badmouth your woman. Yes. Yes. You know what I'm saying? We also got to learn how to have conversations, how to go about conflict resolution. How to go about it, yeah. Because a lot of times we don't know how to resolve conflicts. This one argument, there's no resolution to it. Right. All we did was shout at each other and then we didn't agree to disagree. We didn't disagree or agree.
And I think a lot of times you have to change the wording of these type of things, right? We're not having an argument. We're having a healthy disagreement. if you just change the wording, it becomes so much easier to solve the issue.
I think it's just to take the emotions out of it.
That too.
Take the emotions out
Well,
of
the
it.
emotions help you navigate where you are.
The reason why I said that is because when emotions are heightened, a lot of times you're not in control no more.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? And then you might say something you don't mean.
Right.
You might do something you don't mean to do. So best that if you're not able to be in control of those emotions, you step away for a second.
Yeah, and you come back.
Down, and then you calm down. And then your partner got to understand that that's what you're doing. Remember Jay Shetty said it today too. He said at first when his wife used to just walk away for a second, he used to think she don't care.
He didn't think and she processes different than
he does.
Right.
And when you come to that understanding that that's how that person processes it, because I used to process it like she did. Hey, listen, let's talk about this later when you're less emotional about it.
Right.
And then we could have a dialogue.
Right.
But I realized the other person didn't comprehend
the same way.
They're used to going back and forth.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
I totally
get into that point of realizing, like, this is how life partnership works.
Yeah.
You're spending life with this person. You got to know their habits. You got to know how this person deals with conflict.
Yes.
How they deal with arguments. You know, how we move forward from that.
Right.
And how we teach this to our kids.
One of the things that he was speaking about, was them helping each other with their, they're strengthening each other's weaknesses. And I think that's like so major key, because sometimes we're in a relationship and our partner have these weaknesses that we're not trying to help them strengthen. We're just trying to add fire to it, or we just ignore it.
Or we make them feel bad about it.
Right. Or we make them feel bad about it. And I think that is so vital to a relationship to know, okay, my partner has this weakness. Like for you with your anxiety, right? As you as my co-host, I'm gonna make sure you not sweating on camera and you good to go. and all that, I always tell people that relationships is just like with working in business. It all connects and it all goes into one, because if my partner isn't good, then how can we thrive? Right?
And I think it's the same thing with even friendships,
Yeah.
Like for me, I'm a very open dude. Like there's nothing you can tell me about myself that I haven't told myself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I know what my insecurities are. I know what my weaknesses are. And my friends don't exploit that.
Right.
And that I'm confident to say whatever they are, because what you gonna do?
Yeah.
Tell me about it. I already know about it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not afraid to say how I feel and mean how I feel.
Yeah. Hey everyone, we are taking a quick break to let you know about Skyless Hair Studio, located right here in Tamarack, Florida. So if you're in town and if you know anyone that need any hair services, we specialize in healthy hair care, extensions, cuts, colors, and pretty much everything except for braiding. So reach out to us, Skyless Hair Studios, here in Tamarack, Florida. Guys, we could talk and go. We have some topics we didn't even touch yet, but we're running out on time. And we want to keep it pushing. So we're going to start talking about Stretch's Corner. What we talk about, Stretch?
Let's touch on Rihanna for a second. And how lucky that boy ASAP is.
Shout out to Rihanna.
Shout out to ASAP, man.
Shout out to ASAP. Shout out to that whole dynamic.
He's smart. He knocked her up again. He's a smart guy.
Yes.
And I think she does a good job with keeping her life out of social media and out of the public. She lets you see what she wants you to see. Because she was pregnant for a while and nobody knew she was pregnant.
Yeah, nobody knew it.
And if she didn't want nobody to see the baby, nobody would have seen the baby.
Right, yes.
So I think she does a good job with keeping. And when she went to the Super Bowl, it showed the
belly,
the little belly, a little bump. Everybody was shocked. And that's the art.
You giving me an energy like you ready to plant some seeds, ain't it?
Oh, what you talking about?
You seem a little bit excited about that pregnancy.
No, I'm just happy for people when they're happy. I love seeing people happy, man. It's nice.
Yes.
It's refreshing to see happiness on screen.
Yes, and I love that performance, despite what people say and the haters they say.
We ain't worried about what they say. We're worried about what we
It
think.
was a great performance. I love it.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not a big old fan of Rihanna like everybody else.
Right.
I'm not a big old fan of Beyonce and all these people.
Yes.
But when something is good, you give it the credit.
Mm-hmm.
She did a good performance.
Yes.
And she made sure that the only thing I was disappointed about, because I heard this rumor going around about Sean Paul and the dancehall set.
Yeah.
That's why I watched it in the first place.
Oh, he was supposed to be on there?
I don't know. It was a rumor. It wasn't even in the newspaper. Like, it was in the Observer or the Gleaner or one of them.
Okay.
It was in there that they were supposed to join her on the performance. That's why I watched in the first place. And I didn't see that. So that's my only disappointment, because she represents Caribbean music a lot. So, gotta appreciate that when you see it.
And I love how he was just there supporting her. ASAP was just there recording, supporting her. Just like...
I was a fan, like a friend.
But you know that, like, it's so crazy that you say that, because I feel like in a relationship, we should always be a fan of each other.
Yeah, depending on how.
Just not in a toxic way.
Not even a toxic way. When you're
in a healthy way.
In a healthy way. Now, when you're too much of a fan of a person, it comes off as just being too soft. Yeah. So, yeah, we don't want that.
Shout out to Riri. That was a great performance.
I loved it.
All right, guys. So, our quote of the day, it is in reference to Valentine's Day, and it is, "Love doesn't make the world go around. Love is what makes the ride worthwhile." Yeah, so... I love that.
I love it too, but...
Why he gotta say but?
But... how it works. I think love, for me, is the centerpiece of a lot of things. And like we talked about last week, where people misunderstand love. We use it loosely a lot. Yeah. Love is a centerpiece of so many things. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? It's from politics to all of that. If there's no, like, even with your career, if you don't love what you do, you're miserable. Yeah. So I think love is really a centerpiece to a lot of things. But in relationships, this quote is perfect, because, man, it's not easy. Yeah. It's not easy. But what keeps that together is that love. It makes it really worth your while. Like, yes. And,
that song, patient love, kind love, sweet love, all of that is a factor of your relationship and what makes it worthwhile.
Yes. And when I say worthwhile, I mean, you look back, you spend 10 years with somebody and you look back at that and you're like, this was a great period.
It's been going amazing.
Right. And you not look back and be like, 5 years, you fight for 5 years, but, me enjoy the next 5, Yes. No. You want to look at it and be like, I enjoy every moment of this. Yeah. The good, the bad, the ugly, and the love is what the centerpiece of that will always be. I hear people talk all the time about falling out of love in a relationship. There's no such thing. Yeah. And growing apart is a thing, but falling out of love with somebody in a relationship, I don't believe in that. I mean, you can't fall out of love, because I heard falling in love and loving somebody is two different things. Being in love and loving somebody is two different things. Yes. But love is the underlining thing that keeps it together, because you still love that person. And no matter, I see people divorced, but I know you still love that person.
You still love the person, of course. Of course.
I mean, you may not like them, but you still love the person.
Of course. So, and that's how you keep a certain foundation, a certain connection. And like you said, when you're in love with someone, your daily life is damn near navigating towards their life as well. But when you love someone, I love you, but I'm going to love you from afar. There's different versions. Our daily life ain't navigated in this right now.
There's different versions of that word love. Yeah. Different dynamics.
Yes. Guys, this topic can go on forever.
Like I said, she started this. This is her topic.
We got some greatness coming, guys. I'm so excited.
Okay, so coming up, we got panels where we're going to hear from different people. We're not going to have no professional people, just some regular people that we're gonna hear from.
Not regular. They great people.
Some regular people that we're gonna hear from, that you see every day, that's gonna tell you about their marriage and their single life and their weird stuff that they do, and
Guys, I love putting him in uncomfortable spaces.
This is just Okay. Anyways.
Take us out, Stretch.
I might have a stripper. I'm gonna have a stripper come on here too.
Oh, bring them on. I know a few of them too.
Hey, you got it. Okay. I don't know none.
You sure?
I don't know none.
I don't believe you.
For real. I know one.
I know some ex-strippers and I know current strippers.
She's not too right up top. So
Oh,
I'm going to leave that to you. So, in closing, guys, please don't forget to like the videos. First, subscribe. Make sure you subscribe first.
Mm-hmm.
You watch the videos. You listen to the audio because there's audio and there's video. YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. So if you're at work and you don't feel like being on YouTube, just go on Apple Music or you go on Spotify and you listen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're riding in your car, same thing. You make sure you check out the content first. Then if you like it, then you leave your comments, because leaving the comments helps us to be on the algorithm. Mm-hmm. And also don't forget to share with someone so they could intake this great information.
Please join into the conversation, guys. We want to hear from you guys. Please.
Yes. Comment, DMs, everything. We'll take it. Follow us on Instagram at Student to Life Podcast. CEO Your Life.
Yes. At Skyless Here Studios.
Yes, and DJ.StretchExtatic.
Yes.
On Instagram. You can follow us and find us anywhere. You can see the content. And that's how we wrap up this episode of our first episode of our second semester.
Yes. You guys have a great one. We'll see y'all soon.